A new allegation from Sia against Shia Labeouf after his ex-girlfriend, British singer FKA Twigs, sued him for abuse.
Ever since the downfall of Harvey Weinstein in 2017, many Hollywood moguls have come under legal and public scrutiny also, and Shia Labeouf has been no exception. So in this video, we're revealing the dark truth about Shia Labeouf and FKA Twigs. On December 11, 2020, the New York Times broke the story of a relentless abuse and assault by Shia Labeouf as told by his ex, FKA Twigs. And let's just say Shia is in deep trouble for a long time. Twigs has accused Shia for putting her through relentless emotional and physical abuse, assault and battery while the couple dated from 2018 to 2019. And of course, Twigs' accusations aren't just a thread of tweets on Twitter. As of December 2020, she has filed a lawsuit against Shia for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. For all of our viewers who aren't aware of FKA Twigs, let us fill you in. She's an English singer and actress who's popularly known for her quirky street style and bold persona. And somehow, if you aren't familiar with Shia Labeouf, he's Sam Witwicky from the Transformers movie series. You must have watched that one, right? Basically, he's a Hollywood actor, and now he's on his way to be classified as the not-so-gentleman of the film industry. With the initiation of the Me Too movement back in 2017, a series of accusations and legal conflicts came under daylight. A single tweet by the actress Alyssa Milano was impactful enough to tumble down the invincible walls around the sexual predators like Harvey Weinstein. The whole ideological shift around sexual assault or abuse is now dubbed as the Weinstein effect of the movement. Especially after the 23 years of conviction of Weinstein for proven rape and sexual assault, the movement was able to gain traction and a whole new lot of momentum. And even though the movement was started by Tarana Burke back in 2006, it was just limited to women providing each other a safe place for comfort after going through atrocities like sexual abuse. But the message is now clear. Women seek support of other women, but they also take their abusers to the court of law, and FKA Twigs just did that. The couple became close after working on a film called Honey Boy, which is somewhat of an autobiographical account of Shia himself. He wrote the film's screenplay around his childhood and the relationship he had with his father. Now, if you have kept up with all the time Shia has messed up in public or the number of criminal charges against him, this news wouldn't be such a surprise. To put it plainly for you guys, Shia has a series of incidents which can be characterized with violence, drunken disorderly behavior, and being racist. He's been roughly arrested 3 times for public intoxication, harassment, and criminal trespass. And to start a whole new wave of criticism, Shia just used racial slurs and remarks against police officers who were arresting him. Yep, everything was all caught on camera, and there was some very clear footage. It must be lying somewhere on the internet. Shia's controversial past doesn't automatically make him guilty of Twigs' accusations though, but there was major evidence against Shia to face a public trial on social media. At this point, Shia is just cancelled. In all honesty, looks like the cancellation seems warranted and justified with this particular case. As FKA Twigs chose to directly talk to the New York Times for the sake of responsible journalism, the news outlet published a report with a detailed account of Twigs' experiences with Shia. The most striking story comes from 2019, when the couple was driving to Los Angeles after spending time together. Reportedly, Shia was speeding recklessly and even removed his seatbelt. He did all of that because he wanted Twigs to confess her love for him, otherwise he would deliberately crash the car. Now that actually seems like a quite traumatizing experience for the British singer and actor, and this incident came right after Valentine's Day, so Shia was feeling distressed about his love life, or to speak so. The couple had spent a night in the desert area of California, which had been the worst nightmare for FKA Twigs. She recalled for the times that while she was sleeping, Shia woke her up only to choke her using his bare hands. After she begged Shia to stop the car so she could step out to give each other space, the Transformer star pulled up at a gas station. And the next part of the narration is the centerpiece of the lawsuit that Twigs has filed against her ex-boyfriend. She narrates that while she took out her bags from the car to obviously travel back to LA on her own, Shia didn't leave her alone. In fact, the actor followed her and tried to coerce her back into the car. During this whole ordeal, he physically assaulted her by pushing her multiple times and even threw her against the car. The next accusation in the lawsuit, though, is gonna surprise you, but mostly is more horrifying than surprising, because you wouldn't expect this sort of atrocity from a well-aware, rich, and critically acclaimed respectable actor. FKA Twigs also accused Shia for knowingly giving her an STD, or a sexually transmitted disease. While that is undoubtedly borderline crazy and unethical, there is a deeper context to this heinous crime. To give your partner an STD intentionally is a toxic, coveted attempt to keep your partner with you forever by inducing the feelings of shame and embarrassment. Not to mention, it is also sexual abuse 101. If the accusation is confirmed to be true, Shia has also violated Twigs' fundamental human rights to health and full information, and that has a whole legal weightage of implications all on their own. After Twigs filed the lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court, the whole situation turned into a snowball effect, and naturally Shia's reputation is now being shredded into paper waste. As the story of the lawsuit went public, even more accusations came against Shia that very quickly gained momentum in the mainstream media. The biggest one came from Shia, who obviously needs no introduction. She's the woman behind many hit songs including Chandelier, Cheap Thrills, Alive, and notably Elastic Heart. We know what you're thinking, didn't Shia star in a peculiar but meaningful music video of Elastic Heart? Yep, you got that one right. Shia's accusations date back to 2015, around the same time when they filmed the video for Elastic Heart. She claims that the actor manipulated her into having an adulterous relationship by labeling himself as single, which of course the singer didn't appreciate. Even though Shia didn't elaborate on her story, it's pretty interesting to notice that in 2015, Shia was definitely dating Mia Goth. Looks like now we know why the couple ended up with a divorce in 2018, just after less than 2 years of marriage. Even though Shia isn't a party to the lawsuit, she made sure to show her solidarity to Twigs. But Twigs is profoundly prepared for the case as she outlined the experiences of Shia's other ex-girlfriend in her lawsuit. One of the accusers, Carolyn Foe, a stylist and ex-girlfriend of Shia. And guys, her story is as violent as it gets. She recalled an incident in the lawsuit when drunk and disorderly Shia pinned her to the bed with sheer force and headbutted her until Carolyn started to bleed. As she felt trapped in the cycle of abuse, she didn't do anything about the violent situation. Surprisingly, Twigs also shared a similar sentiment regarding why she didn't report Shia to the authorities in the early stages of their toxic relationship. There were more than enough instances of Twigs getting physically abused at the hands of the actor, but she hesitated to report it because of 2 reasons. Number 1, she didn't want to harm Shia's career in any way, and number 2, she was apprehensive that no one would take her allegations seriously. Well, we can say that the second reason didn't turn out to be completely true because Twigs is well supported in the industry and by the public. And she's also getting full support from Matty Healy, who's her current boyfriend and frontman of the 1975. Obviously, the legal proceedings of the lawsuit is another challenge all on its own. The next part of the lawsuit is definitely dark and frightening in many ways. Both Twigs and Foe describe Shia to be jealous and possessive to the point that he wouldn't let them meet their male counterparts. In fact, he forced them to lower their gazes in front of men and made them limit their interactions with their male friends. Both of the women found it incredibly hard to excel at their careers as the Hollywood industry mostly comprises of men. Things once again take a peculiar turn in the lawsuit. Shia also wanted to control the intimacy aspect of the romantic relationships that he indulged into. He went so overboard with his control freak tendencies that he would limit the number of embraces and hugs for each day. Shia's unproportioned dominance in the relationships kept his ex-girlfriends isolated and mentally exhausted. They couldn't meet their friends or fully focus on their careers. Yep, we have the receipts for the last assertion. Even after Twigs' 2019 album Magdalene received a worldwide critical appreciation, she kept on rescheduling the tour. The album itself saw many delays and last-minute changes. Another alarming accusation in the lawsuit cites that Shia slept with a loaded gun on his side table. Twigs claimed that the whole scenario was so frightening that she couldn't even use the restroom during the night, as she feared that Shia might mistake her for an intruder and would just shoot her, without thinking or even actually seeing her. Reportedly, Shia also forced her to sleep without any clothing on, which profoundly violated Twigs' bodily integrity. Now, there is no question that Shia would have to definitely battle this heavy lawsuit in the court. While his lawyers are gearing up for the intense scrutiny that follows, Shia has few words of his own. He told the Times that even though many of these accusations are not true, he still owes the women from this life, quote, the opportunity to air their statements publicly and accept accountability for those things I have done, unquote. In an email to the New York Times, Shia also recalled his past controversies and admitted that he has hurt people during the process of attempted sobriety. He also understood that there are not any justifications for his abusive behavior, and he only tries to rationalize it under his past trauma. He didn't address the accusations in detail, but he did say that he's under no position to rectify anyone's feelings towards him. To conclude, he does feel ashamed and powerless at the same time. Now we just patiently wait for the legal proceedings to start. So what do you think about the outcome of FKA Twigs' lawsuit against Shia? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.